Have you ever felt tired after eating, hungry again too soon, or wondered why losing weight feels harder than it should? I'm Dr. Vitas, and here is Xenovitas, where we explore longevity, anti-aging, and biohacking. Today we're talking about insulin resistance, a problem that can build quietly inside the body before most people even realize it is there. This matters because it can affect your energy, your cravings, your weight, and your long-term health. In this video, I'll explain what insulin resistance is, why it happens, how it can affect your body, and what you can do to help turn things around. Let's get into it. What insulin is supposed to do? First, let's make this simple. When you eat food, especially foods that give your body quick energy, your body turns part of that food into sugar that moves through your blood. Your body then sends out a hormone called insulin. Insulin's job is to help move that sugar out of the blood and into the cells, where it can be used for energy. That is how things are supposed to work. Think of it like a delivery system. Food comes in, the body breaks it down, and insulin helps guide that energy where it needs to go. When that system is working well, your body can keep energy more steady, hunger more balanced, and daily function more stable. But with insulin resistance, the cells stop responding as well as they should. It is almost like insulin is knocking on the door, but the door is not opening properly. So the body tries to fix that by making more insulin. At first, this can seem like everything is still fine. A person may not notice a major problem, but behind the scenes, the body is starting to work harder than it should. That extra effort matters, because when the body has to keep pushing harder just to do a basic job, that pressure can build over time. It may not create a crisis right away, but it can slowly move the body in the wrong direction. And that is why insulin resistance is important to understand early. It is not only about what happens later, it is about what is already happening quietly in the background. The silent stage. One reason insulin resistance is so important is because it often starts quietly. A lot of people think that if something is wrong with blood sugar, they will feel it right away. But that is not always true. In the early stage, the body can keep things looking normal for a while by pushing out more insulin. That means a person can feel mostly okay, go through daily life as usual, and still have hidden stress building up in the background. This is why insulin resistance is easy to miss. You may not get a big warning sign at the beginning. Instead, the body keeps trying to stay in balance. It keeps compensating. But that extra effort cannot go on forever. After enough time, the system starts wearing down, and that is when bigger problems can begin to show up. So the danger is not always what you feel right away. The danger is what may be slowly building over time. And this is where many people get confused. They assume that no symptoms means no problem. They assume that if they are still functioning, still working, still doing everyday life, then everything must be okay. But the body can hide a problem for a long time before it shows it clearly. This is why early awareness matters so much. Once you understand that there can be a quiet stage, you stop waiting for a major warning sign before paying attention. You begin noticing patterns sooner. You ask better questions sooner. And that gives you a much better chance of improving the situation before it becomes something bigger. In other words, insulin resistance does not only matter when it turns serious, it matters from the moment it begins. Why insulin resistance happens. Now let's talk about why this happens. Insulin resistance usually does not come from one single cause. It is often the result of many things adding up over time. Not moving enough can play a role. Carrying too much body fat, especially around the belly, can also make it more likely. Poor sleep can make things worse. Constant stress can add pressure too. And for some people, family history also matters. Modern life makes this easier to understand. Many people sit for long hours, sleep too little, feel stressed all the time, and eat in a way that keeps the body in a cycle of quick energy, crashes, cravings, and more eating. Over time, that can make the body less responsive to insulin. This is not about blaming people. It is about understanding that the body responds to patterns. And when those patterns keep putting pressure on the system, the body starts adapting in ways that are not always helpful. That is why insulin resistance is not just about one bad meal or one lazy day. It is about what happens when unhealthy patterns become normal for too long. Most people do not suddenly wake up one day with this problem. It usually builds slowly. And because it builds slowly, many people get used to the warning signs and start thinking they are normal. But normal does not always mean healthy. The body responds to what happens every day. And when daily life keeps putting pressure on energy balance, insulin resistance becomes more likely. The signs people often miss. So what does insulin resistance actually feel like? This is where people get confused, because sometimes it does not feel like anything clear at all. But there are some clues people often talk about. They may feel tired after meals. They may get hungry again very quickly. They may crave sweet or starchy foods more often. They may feel like their energy goes up and down through the day. Some people notice that gaining weight seems easier, while losing it feels much harder than expected. These signs do not prove insulin resistance by themselves, but they can be hints that the body is not handling energy in the smooth, steady way that it should. And then there is the part that makes this subject even more important. A person can have insulin resistance without any obvious signs. That means someone may wait for a clear symptom that never really comes, while the problem keeps growing quietly in the background. That is why learning about it matters. Awareness can come before symptoms do. Some people also fall into a daily cycle where they eat, feel better for a little while, then crash again. That can make the whole day feel like a fight with energy, mood, and hunger. And that is why this topic matters so much. When people do not understand what may be happening, they often blame themselves, when the real issue may be that the body is under strain. How people find out. If insulin resistance can be so quiet, how do people find out about it? Usually it starts with paying attention and getting checked by a health professional when needed. This is not something you should try to guess only by looking in the mirror or judging how you feel on one random day. It is about looking at the bigger picture. Energy changes, hunger patterns, weight struggles, family history, sleep habits, daily movement, and overall health all matter. Sometimes people only discover the problem after a routine checkup. Sometimes they find out because they started asking questions about why they feel tired, why they crash after meals, or why their progress feels stuck. The good news is that finding out early can make a huge difference, because the earlier you notice the pattern, the better your chance of helping your body recover before the problem becomes more serious. This is why ignoring the issue is never the smart move. Catching it early gives you more power, and that starts with honesty. It starts with noticing that your body may be asking for attention, not in a dramatic way, but in small, repeated ways. Maybe your energy is always unstable. Maybe your hunger feels hard to manage. Maybe cravings are taking over too much of your day. Maybe your usual habits are clearly not giving your body what it needs. These are the moments when people should stop brushing things aside. Because waiting for a bigger problem does not make things easier. It usually makes them harder. Finding out earlier gives you more room to respond, more room to improve daily habits, and more room to protect your long-term health before the situation gets worse. That is why paying attention is not overreacting. It is a smart move. How to help turn it around. Now for the part that gives people hope. Insulin resistance is not always a one-way road. In many cases, the body can respond really well when daily habits improve. Not overnight, not by magic, but little by little, with consistency. Moving more helps. Walking more helps. Building strength helps. Eating in a way that keeps energy more steady can help. Sleeping better can help. Managing stress better can help too. This is not about chasing perfection. It is about lowering the pressure on the body. When you give your body better support day after day, it can start responding better again. Energy can feel more stable. Cravings can calm down. Progress can start feeling possible again. And this is the part many people need to hear most. You do not need to do everything at once. You just need to start giving your body more of what helps and less of what keeps pushing it in the wrong direction. Small changes, repeated often enough, can lead to powerful results. A lot of people want a fast fix, but the body usually responds better to steady habits than extreme changes. The goal is to build a rhythm your body can actually benefit from, and your real life can actually maintain. That is when healthy change stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like relief.
So here is the big takeaway. Insulin resistance can build quietly, but it can still affect your energy, your cravings, your weight, and your long-term health. The good news is that once you understand what is happening, you can start making better choices that support your body and move things in a better direction. If this video helped you understand insulin resistance in a simpler way, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.